All right, so it's springtime in the Philadelphia area, but we're filming this a little ahead of time. We're going to have a fireside chat a little bit about an event that is one of the keystone moments, one could say, of Covenant Fellowship Church. Right. There's two real testamental periods, and really I think it marked the dawning of a new age. We always talk about, okay, was that before Fanatic or after the Fanatic? Yes, we're here to talk about the Philly Fanatic, who graced our halls once. And only once in our history. We've had other mascots, we've had other athletes in our doors, but there was a moment during an outreach that I wanted to talk with these guys who were there. I was also there, but I want to get a pastoral perspective of what really went down that day. We have Andy, we have Joseph, and Jim. I'm going to start with you, Jim. Why was the Philly Fanatic in our doors on a Sunday morning?
Great question. So we, at that time, were really hitting on a great season of guest Sundays, tons of people coming out. So we had an all-American theme. And we thought this theme's gonna be all-American. We're gonna have baseball. Could we get the Fanatic? So we called up, and lo and behold, he agreed to come. So we had hamburgers, hot dogs. The Fanatic was gonna be there afterwards. However, someone who will remain unnamed, possibly until the end of this video, released him into the auditorium at the end of the service before it was over.
Not a wise man.
So he didn't attend the service with us.
No.
He didn't raise his hand
No.
when they asked to identify guests. He was being held.
He was being held back.
Barely.
Like corralling at a rodeo.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to hold him back. So you were on stage at the end of the service.
So I'm on stage, and all of a sudden, I'm doing the closing announcement. So the message is over, testimony, band's behind me. They've done a special song. I'm in the close, just beginning to do the closing announcements. He runs into the middle of the auditorium on the circle in the center, raises his hand. The church goes nuts.
Every head whipped toward the center, and that was the end. He owned the audience.
Thank for the All-American. Oh, whoa. Hey, whoa. Oh, whoa, hey. Whoa, yeah. I didn't know this guy was a guest. Yeah, hey. Hey, who let this guy in here?
He's used to controlling 50,000 people.
Well, exactly. And at that point,
We were putty in his hands.
At that point, I was under the illusion that this was going to be great and that I could control him to some degree.
And I thought, this is a disaster. This cannot go well. I hope somebody's filming it. That's what I was.
I was having a great time up there. I mean, I was watching and observing.
I was too initially. So as he runs up the stage, he comes over and
I think we're forgetting one.
sorry, go ahead.
They're forgetting one thing. There was a pastoral invitation given, and I would be remiss not to mention that pastoral greeting.
All right, I guess he's one of the guests as well. Welcome on up. Welcome on up.
Well, this is where you're going to bring a little controversy in, and I didn't know if you were going to go there. However, the Fanatic started to come up, and as he's already coming up the steps, I said, "Come on up." But I had no control.
Well, so baseball's a game about timing. You can't get from first to second without tagging up on a fly ball.
But we didn't.
You are a legend with no video replay.
We
That
need
his foot was off of first base and he was already running. And you said, "Go ahead."
That's a great point.
Okay.
So I have been blamed for that, but we're not going to go there. So as he comes up on the stage, he just begins his assault of me. And I literally lost it. Like I've never before on the stage cracked up to the point where I'm just laughing so hard I have no control.
To get here. Whoa. Yikes. Okay. Thank you, I think. Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll do the announcements together here. No, I really did need those. I guess with those big hands, you can't really pick those up. Wait, I think it's this page right here. I did find it. Praise God. Yeah.
I'm cracking up and I'm like, I wonder who's in control of this meeting. Oh, it's the Fanatic.
I want to know what was the thinking process during that time? What was going through your mind?
Survival. I was thinking, how do I survive this? And how do I actually have
Both physically and with your job.
both physically, right? Yes, because he already made out with me once. But how do I actually did have announcements I was trying to get through. Like I wanted to give direction to everybody for the All American Barbecue and where to go.
You ended up giving some direction.
Yes, and he
helped.
He thwarted.
He mocked all your directions.
All right, so for our guests, we hope you plan on joining us. The Fanatic has also joined us as part of my notes. You can also get your free tickets at the registration window. So guests, seriously, on your way out the lobby, on the left, just right there, that left. There's some windows, and you can get your free tickets. Also, please be sure to... I'm never going to get through this. I really am sweating. Lord help me. Maybe you should do this and I should jump around. Okay. Please also pick up a VIP sticker. And we want you guests to pick up. Yep, they're VIPs. You can get one as well. That'll give you free snow cones and cotton candy. You'll also see an alpha table in the lobby. There's an alpha table lobby where you can pick up some information and also sign up for that celebration dinner. It would help us to know if you could come. But listen, this is very important. Please do not go straight out the front. Please do not go straight out the front doors. We were going to go out the side doors, okay? So please don't go out the front doors for your tickets. The lines are going to be aside. You are dismissed. Thank you very much.
That's where I just knew. I'm like, okay, whatever semblance or of control I thought I had, you have no control. Whatever he's going to do, that's what's going to happen. Exactly. 100%.
You're just a product.
Yeah, I was just a product.
When did you decide I can't pray for lunch?
Did I try to pray?
No.
No,
you didn't, and you often do.
I just thought the Lord's going to have to bless the food.
Yeah.
We're going. We're going. All I could do at one point was just dismiss, and that's when Joseph.
So normally at that time we would do a closing song as people walked out of the auditorium.
It was more of an exit song.
Right.
The congregation was not participating. They would be walking out.
The post-benediction slot.
Yeah.
And I still now hold that "Haven't You Been Good" is actually a baseball song. And I think it's from that day. The seventh inning stretch, they're singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." I'm thinking,
Haven't you been
out of millions lost. So how were you dealing with? Okay, we're playing a worship song. The people aren't singing, right? Most people aren't singing, but the people on the band are singing, and he is taking turns with each band member. What was going through your mind? Should we keep playing?
This was an exit song, and usually we start playing that song, and people only hear the first 30 seconds of it because they walk out into the lobby. They go out to that day they didn't leave. Right. So this was supposed to be an exit song, and I anticipated that the Fanatic would leave the stage and lead everybody out to the barbecue. That also didn't happen. No. So we're singing this song. Thank you for the cross. Thank you, Lord, for drawing me out of millions lost.
Glory to your name.
And the Fanatic begins strutting around the stage and then interacting with the musicians. In ways that were perhaps not fully appropriate.
For the context.
For the
Totally appropriate at the ballpark.
Says
But
Andy, his
name
wife is the one that the
For a
Fanatic
band,
dipped.
on.
And I think, I think most of the band was trying to flow with it. I felt worse for Tracy Prater, Tracy Healy, and I think it was several years of counseling.
Yeah, I think there's some
After
people
that.
are still in counseling.
So,
I'm in counseling.
Yeah.
Christina
So-
did get
Christine,
her
yeah.
flute cleaned though. So
Yeah, she
the
With
nose,
his tongue.
you know,
Yeah.
she didn't have to do the regular cleaning. So actually, it
Oh,
was a
it's
service.
tongue.
You'll see all of it. Why do a second verse?
Well, at this point, I was pretty much running on adrenaline because you just don't know what to do in that moment. Like Jim said, you begin to sweat. You're just uncertain. You just go with what you know in that moment, and you're just not thinking as clearly as you should be. And I have to own that, and I've had to live with that now for 20 years. That yes, I should have in that moment cut things short, but
You
I
can't
didn't.
stop it. In a way, you can't stop it.
Yeah.
It's like a tractor beam. It just pulls everything. It's
Or tornado that you
Yeah. You just stare at it.
The whole
Stare at
thing.
You can't get out of the way. Yeah. You
I
can't get out of
just
the way.
go like this.
Yeah.
I
And
left
I'm
the
on
mic
the audience going, I can't wait for the elders meeting.
Afterwards.
Speaking of
Yes.
the elders meeting, can I mention
Yes, go
something
ahead,
about
go ahead.
that? So one of the funny things in the elders meeting afterwards, Dave was our senior
He
pastor.
wasn't there that week.
And he was not there. And so we were kind of reviewing this. It was crazy. So we just were in there laughing and joking. People were busting on me, the worship team, everything that happened. And Mark was kind of somber, like you could tell he was more serious in this. And so, and he felt responsible, as the executive pastor. And we actually found out in that meeting that he was the one that released the Fanatic to come in at the end of the service. And so
Our executive director.
You made an executive decision.
Yes, our executive pastor. And so we said to Mark, well, you know what, Mark? There was really no way you could know this was happening, that this was going to happen. And he looked back at us and he said, well, Dave Harvey thinks there was a way we could know this would happen. That became a phrase for us, like, yeah, there's no way you could have known this was happening. Actually, there is a way you could know this would happen. And so we laughed about that.
Yeah. And I think if Dave had been there,
Yes.
he would have enjoyed it.
Yes, he would have, right? Yeah.
You had to be there.
Probably
You
the
had to be
rumors coming back were a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
harder to
there.
navigate.
Well, the imagination of what it was like
Yeah.
must be terrifying for a senior.
Yes, exactly.
Well, you don't have to imagine. It's all on video.
It's all-
Yeah.
So it was 2003 where one of the 5 most famous and popular mascots in the world stepped foot, oversized foot, into our church. If you were to give a single word as to how to encapsulate that experience, Andy, what would that word be?
Magical.
Joseph?
Strange.
Jim?
Traumatic.
Different experiences. And we're to learn something from that. So, Andy, if a church member came up to you and said they would like to have Gritty at the Friday night prayer meeting, what would you say?
As long as I don't have to lead it, I'm good.
And as long as someone gets it on film.
That's right. I'm getting on film.
Jim will be there. This has been a Fireside Chat.